Any asshole can tell you to run everything under the sun and get you good size. Even if you don't train and even if you eat like absolute shit, there's a chance that you're going to get results. Anabolic steroids are dangerous in a variety of ways, but the main reason might be shocking to some and to others are going to know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm Dylan Gemelli. All the good stuff, no fluff, straightforward. You're going to get it like it is. I tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. And this is probably going to be the biggest evidence of that statement in any video that I've ever done. First and foremost, you do what you want with your own body. This and anything else that I put out or anything else anybody else puts out is information, experience. You take that for whatever you want. No one's perfect. No one knows everything. Everybody's got their own opinions and experiences. I'm speaking to you as a man who has made 15 years worth of mistakes in this field and a lifetime of mistakes, but also a man that doesn't make the same mistakes twice, that learns from his mistakes and tries to convey everything that I've went through, everything that I've seen, everything that I've encountered with all of you. My goal is quite simple in all of this at this point. I'm not selling anything. I know people in the past will come up with, oh, you work for this company, you work with that company. I work with very specific companies now that have nothing to do with steroids, steroid use, or anything of the sort, and don't promote anything that's, oh, don't use steroids, use this instead. That's not what any of this is. This is factual information based upon experience and what I know and what I've seen. Anabolic steroids are dangerous. There's safer ways to use them, but in a nutshell, no matter what, if you use them, you best be prepared for what comes along with that. Yes, the results will show. Even if you don't train and even if you eat like absolute shit, there's a chance that you're going to get results. Now, you're not going to get anywhere near the results as if you were training hard, eating right. If you don't have the proper genetics, you'll never see the results that others get. So you can't compare yourself to other people because you don't know the type of work, you don't know the type of genetics, you don't know anything because people can tell you what they're dosing and that doesn't mean that they are. And people can think that they have good quality and they may have something that is overdosed, underdosed. You don't know. You don't work with these places. People will say, well, they have the best quality. You don't know everything you're getting, especially from underground laboratories. I don't care what anybody says. I have seen so many different varieties of testing and things that have come back great one time, bad the other time. I know everybody wants to think that they know everything about every company and every person that's ever used steroids. If you think that every single person that uses steroids is up here telling you exactly what they've gone through, all of their side effects, their exact blood panels, you have lost your shit. And I would say, are you off your meds? But it's really, are you on them? Because they've got your mind so convoluted that you can't wrap your head around the honest truth. Results will speak for themselves. Yes, they are there.
Coffee gives you a moment of energy, but Nandica gives you momentum for life. Nandica is a longevity coffee alternative designed by Peak to support clean energy, focus, mood, and cellular resilience through world-class ingredients and an effortless daily ritual. It was created for people who think in decades, not hours, and it delivers calm, sustained energy while supporting cellular resilience, immune balance, and longevity-aligned performance without the jitters, crash, or gut irritation of ordinary coffee. Peak takes the most powerful botanicals, minerals, and vitamins from nature and elevates them with cutting-edge extraction technology, creating supplements you'll actually take. It tastes like an artisanal coffee experience, but it's built like a longevity stack. And Nandica has given me a consistent state of energy, laser focus, and mental clarity, along with a refreshing taste and a luxury feel. It's my newest daily ritual. And if you want the luxury upgrade version of a coffee alternative and you want it built for longevity, then this is it. Secure 20% off your order and begin your intentional wellness journey today at peaklife.com/Dylan. That's peaklife.com/Dylan.
Then comes the sticky part, the side effects that people want to argue about. They'll tell you, oh, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He's fear-mongering. He's not big enough to tell you about steroid use. He doesn't know anything that he's talking about. Well, I'll tell you what, the people that have died young that you listen to that used everything under the sun and got big are not the proper examples because they got results. Any asshole can tell you to run everything under the sun and get you good size. That's easy. That's not hard. I could give you a protocol that is so far out of left field that will gain you size. That does not in any way, shape, or form show any sort of intelligence whatsoever. In fact, what it shows is ignorance. It shows a lack of care, long-term thinking, and the honest truth about what happens long-term. See, I know because I've coached hundreds of thousands of people. I'm not basing this off of me. That's ignorant to take any sort of personal circumstance and then try to convey it to every single person. That's not how this should ever work. You need real data, and I'm talking hands-on data in the trenches and seeing things. That's why I am always tempered on studies, especially when it comes to rats or animals. Studies can be skewed, they can be changed, they can be put into an environment that works however the person conducting the study wants them to result in. I'm not saying they're all bad, we need studies. But I'm saying far more often than not, if you actually look into how they're conducted, the control environments and etc., they're skewed to fit whatever somebody wants them to fit. That's just how it goes. That's the reality of it. And you have to accept that that's life. That's just how it is. You have to be aware. You got to do your own due diligence. So I can put you on every protectant under the sun. I can give you anything to prevent toxicity, to protect your liver, to give you HCG on cycle so that your balls don't shrink. Like that really is going to do something special for your overall health because you're still suppressing your natural testosterone regardless. Okay, we can put you on aromatase inhibitors, which actually after years of me recommending them, I realized that was a bad thing to be recommending, but that's a whole different story. I can put you on anything. It doesn't matter. It's not going to stop the damage. It might mitigate it. It might slow it down, but you're still going to get damage. So you need to be aware of that as well. You can overdo it. You can underdo it. You can dose too high. You could dose too little, according to some, and not get results, but you're still doing damage. I don't care what anybody tells you. And your blood panels, they may come back good. They may come back better. But that does not stop the long-term damage, and that is only indicative of the moment and not what's building up inside of you. People will argue all day long for something that they want because of what they want to hear, and they don't want anybody else to look at or view a certain way. You can drink your whole life, and some people will drink and smoke and they'll live to be 90, never have cancer, never have liver failure or anything else, but the majority of people will. There's always outliers. There's always people that for some reason are like Wolverine inside. I don't know why. That's just a blessing they got from God. I have no clue. But that is very, very rare. You're looking at a very small percentage of people that will have that. So people will say things, oh, that's mild, or oh, he's full of shit, or oh, he's causing fear. No, it's not. Like I said, I'm not your dad. I don't care what you do. I want you to know the information. But aside from all of these side effects and all these problems, the biggest problem is the people that will lie and tell you things and try to convey this as it's okay, and then try to attack people that are trying to teach you the right ways. It's the toxicity of the environment. I have worked now in so many different structured environments. You call it biohacking. I've worked with health professionals all over the world now. I've worked with bodybuilders. I've worked at Mr. Olympia. I've worked with supplement companies. Just some of the most prolific doctors and scientists around the world. So I have talked to so many different types of people, done content in different types of communities and environments. And when it comes to like the bro community, I'm not talking, I don't want to pigeonhole this into just the wellness community because there's so many guys in there of supreme intelligence that actually care. But when you start getting into these major bros, and the people that really just sit behind the computer and look for things to hate on and talk to people negatively about and then shoot down when they're trying to actually help people. That's the biggest problem here. The biggest problem is the toxicity and the lies, the conveyance of information that tries to make this acceptable and okay when it's just not. People that will argue that it's okay for kids to use steroids in their 20s and they'll be fine. People that will tell you that you can run them forever and, oh, I'm fine, I've never had a problem. That is not true. It's just not. And anybody saying that is just lying. You should always do whatever you feel is best for you, run whatever you want, take whatever you want. It's your life. But just get the actual facts. And if people would just be honest about this, if you don't like the way I convey my message or what I teach, by all means, cool. But you'll see comments. You'll be able to tell exactly what I'm talking about. And people will take shots and they'll say whatever. And another thing, I don't give a shit about another man talking about how I look or if I'm not big enough or if I'm not this. You know that I went through my whole life worried about what everybody else thought. I was a fashion model. Then I got into this, and then it was I gained 30 pounds. That wasn't big enough, or it was too much. And then I slimmed back down and do this. I don't care, and nor should any of you ever care. You should care about how you feel and train for what you want. It's like the guys that'll make claims that if you're not big, then you can't talk about steroids. Then why the hell did they invent Winstrol, Anavar, Primobolan, Halotestin? Why are those even in existence? Because you're not getting big off of those. You're not going to be a mass monster. So if I just sat here and only used those compounds and shredded up and got it completely cut, because when I had an 8-pack and 4 and 5% body fat, it was still taking shots. And same thing of all the other influencers out there and people that step up and talk like I do, they get attacked. Oh, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Oh, that's not true. It is true. I'm just being honest about it now. I'm admitting where I was wrong, and I'm telling you exactly what I've seen, why, and how. It takes a real man to get up in front of people, admit where they were wrong, talk about facts, talk about problems, things that they've encountered. And it takes a real jerk to encourage people to do something that they know is harmful. But it's like going down with the ship, and people want to bring everybody down or be negative or run their mouths behind a keyboard. It doesn't help anybody. And most people, like myself now, see, I used to fall into that before and worry about it. You got to realize something. Most people with big followings don't give a fuck if you say something bad about them, because it doesn't matter. The thing is that I wish people knew we laugh. I sit with my wife and laugh because it's a joke, because people are on here to do something. People that make content are trying to help people, which is what I'm trying to do. Now, I understand that some people might be angry when I get up here and admit things that I said and did wrong. And that's okay. I would rather get it off my chest and say the mistakes I made and be honest. And if you can't forgive somebody for that, or if you are angry at somebody for that, that is for you to do. And I understand. I live now a godly life where I put God first. And I know that's going to piss some people off too. And that's okay too. But part of that is admitting your wrongs, forgiving others and hoping they can forgive you, not judging people, not doing any of that, because that's not how life is supposed to work. And you got to remember something. Think about this. I spent years in prison when I was younger. I can't get that time back. That time is gone. And that's part of the reason why I do this and educate you, is because you can't buy back or recreate time. When your time is gone, it's gone. You can enhance the quality of the time that you have, but you can't recreate it. I lost years that I can't get back. And people that use steroids and keep using them, you're going to lose years off of your life. Anybody can tell you whatever they want, and that's okay. You will. And you're also going to spend time having side effects, having problems, wasting more time. You do what you want. If the look for the certain amount of time you're on steroids is worth it, and the mind and all of the other things that get affected by it, if it's worth it to you, that is your decision. But when it comes to value of time and value of life, that's what I'm trying to change and trying to be an impact there for all of you. Some of you hate me, some of you love me, some of you are indifferent, and that's okay. I've done polarizing things in the past that I didn't realize were even polarizing at the time. It was not my intent. But the intent now is pretty simple. It's to do God's work, which is to help people, to save their lives, to enhance their quality of life and get them on a better path, however that may be, and that's what I'm trying to do. You take this however you like. Just know this. There's one motive and one motive only, and that's prevent you from making a decision that's life-altering in a negative way. Ultimately, the decision is yours. Stay tuned for plenty more to come. Dylan Gemelli, signing off.